December 1st, 1948. Dawn breaks over Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The waves roll quietly onto the sand. A man sits against the seawall. He is impeccably dressed. A pressed suit, a neatly tied necktie, polished shoes. One arm rests naturally across his body. At first glance, he looks like someone peacefully watching the sunrise. But something is terribly wrong. He isn't asleep. He's dead. There are no visible injuries, no signs of a struggle, no weapon, no identification. And when detectives begin searching his clothing, they discover a detail so unusual that it instantly transforms an ordinary death into one of history's greatest mysteries. Every label, every manufacturer's tag, every clue revealing where his clothes came from has been carefully cut away. Someone had gone to extraordinary lengths to make sure this man could never be identified. More than 70 years later, investigators may finally know his name. But the greatest questions remain unanswered. Who was he really? Who wanted him to disappear? And what secret did he carry to his grave? The world would come to know him by two haunting words. Tamam Shud. The mystery began during the evening of November 30th, 1948. Several witnesses later reported seeing a well-dressed man sitting against the seawall at Somerton Beach. One couple noticed him raising his right arm before letting it slowly fall back to the ground. They assumed he was simply stretching. Another witness walked past later that night. The man remained in exactly the same position. No one thought to check if he was alive. It wasn't until around 6:30 the following morning that a passerby realized something was terribly wrong. Police arrived quickly. The man appeared to be in his early 40s. He was physically fit, clean-shaven. His hands showed no signs of manual labor. His clothing was expensive and remarkably clean. Despite lying outdoors overnight, his polished shoes remained in excellent condition. The scene suggested something almost impossible. A healthy, well-dressed man had died alone on a public beach, without anyone noticing. Detectives searched every pocket. There was no wallet, no driver's license, no passport, no personal letters, no documents of any kind. Instead, they found ordinary items: a bus ticket, a train ticket that had never been used, chewing gum, matches, a packet of cigarettes. Curiously, the cigarette packet contained a completely different brand than the one printed on the box. It seemed someone had deliberately switched them. Every small detail made investigators wonder whether this man's belongings had been intentionally altered. Then came another unsettling discovery. Every identifying label inside his clothing had been carefully removed. Not torn, not damaged naturally, cut away with precision. Even the laundry markings that might have identified an owner were largely missing. It was as if someone wanted this man to exist without a name. The body was taken for autopsy. The findings only deepened the mystery. Externally, there were almost no signs explaining his death. Internally, however, several organs showed unusual congestion. His spleen appeared enlarged. His liver displayed abnormalities. His stomach contained partially digested food eaten only hours before death. Pathologists suspected poisoning. Yet despite extensive testing, no poison could be identified using the forensic methods available in 1948. Some experts suggested that a rare toxin could have broken down too quickly to detect. Others argued the medical findings were simply inconclusive. Officially, no definitive cause of death could be established. Meanwhile, newspapers across Australia published photographs of the unknown man. Thousands saw his face. No one could identify him. The mystery seemed impossible. Then investigators made a remarkable discovery. Hidden inside a tiny fob pocket sewn into the man's trousers, they found a tightly rolled scrap of paper. The words printed on it were unlike anything detectives expected. Tamam Shud. The phrase came from Persian. It translates roughly to ended, or Finished? The paper had been torn from the final page of an extremely rare book. The book was identified as the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a famous collection of Persian poetry. The final words of that edition contained the phrase, Tamam Shud. Finding those words hidden inside the dead man's clothing immediately fueled speculation. Was it a suicide message? A philosophical statement? Or simply another carefully planted clue? Police appealed to the public. Weeks later, an extraordinary breakthrough occurred. A local man reported finding a copy of the Rubaiyat inside his unlocked car shortly after the body had been discovered. Investigators examined the book closely. Its final page, the one containing the words Tamam Shud, had been neatly torn out. The torn edges matched the scrap found inside the dead man's pocket. At last, police had discovered the missing book, but opening it only revealed even greater mysteries. Inside the back cover, investigators found faint pencil markings, several lines of seemingly random letters, a strange sequence resembling a coded message. It looked nothing like ordinary writing. Cryptographers, military intelligence specialists, amateur code breakers. Even decades later, experts around the world attempted to decipher it. No universally accepted solution has ever been found. Some believe it is an encrypted intelligence message. Others argue it may simply be meaningless notes. To this day, the code remains one of Australia's greatest unsolved puzzles. Then detectives noticed something else written inside the same book. A telephone number. Tracing that number led investigators to a woman living only a short distance from Somerton Beach. Her identity was initially protected from the public and became one of the most closely guarded aspects of the investigation. When police questioned her, she appeared visibly shaken after seeing a plaster cast of the dead man's face. Witnesses later recalled that she seemed on the verge of fainting, yet she insisted she had never met him. She explained that years earlier she had given a copy of the Rubaiyat to another man during the Second World War. Investigators located that individual. He was alive. He still possessed his own copy of the book. He clearly was not the victim. The mystery only deepened. Why was her telephone number inside the dead man's book? Had they known each other? Was she protecting someone? Or was it merely an extraordinary coincidence? Police never found enough evidence to answer those questions. As the years passed, the Somerton Man became the center of countless theories. Some believed he was a lonely traveler who took his own life. Others suspected murder using an undetectable poison. But perhaps the most famous theory involved espionage. The timing seemed suspicious. The world had entered the Cold War. Australia had become increasingly important for military research and intelligence. Nearby stood sensitive defense facilities, secret communications, government projects, the mysterious code, the missing identity, the removed clothing labels, the unexplained death. Together, they resembled the plot of a spy novel. Supporters of the espionage theory argue that intelligence officers often carried minimal identification. Codes hidden inside books were genuine methods used during the era. Rare poisons were known to exist, and eliminating identifying labels could complicate investigations. Yet despite decades of speculation, no document has ever confirmed that the Somerton Man worked for any intelligence agency. The spy theory remains exactly that, a theory. The case remained unsolved for generations. Then modern science entered the investigation. Advances in forensic genealogy and DNA analysis offered investigators something unavailable in 1948. Hope. Researchers carefully extracted DNA from preserved hair samples associated with the unidentified man. Using modern genetic databases and extensive family tree reconstruction, scientists gradually narrowed the possibilities. In recent years, independent researchers announced that the strongest evidence pointed toward a man named Carl Charles Webb. Webb was an electrical engineer from Melbourne. He had reportedly disappeared during the late 1940s. The age, the physical characteristics, the genetic evidence, all aligned remarkably well. In 2022, South Australian authorities publicly acknowledged that DNA evidence strongly supported this identification. For many observers, the Somerton Man had finally recovered his name. But recovering a name is not the same as solving a mystery. Even if Carl Webb truly was the man found on Somerton Beach, why was he there? Why were all his clothing labels removed? Who placed the Tamam Shud paper inside his hidden pocket? What did the mysterious code actually say? And why did the telephone number lead investigators to a woman whose connection has never been fully explained? Each answer seemed only to create new questions. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of this case is how ordinary it first appeared. A man sitting quietly on a beach. No violence, no dramatic crime scene, no obvious suspect. Yet hidden beneath that peaceful image lay decades of unanswered questions stretching across forensic science, cryptography, psychology, and Cold War history. Time has erased many witnesses. Memories have faded. Documents have disappeared. Some secrets may already have died with the people who knew them. Today, the Somerton Man is no longer simply an unidentified body. He may finally have a name. But identity alone cannot explain motive. It cannot reveal trust betrayed, or messages never delivered, or why one man's final hours became one of history's most enduring mysteries. Perhaps every forgotten life leaves behind invisible threads waiting to be discovered. Some are found, others remain buried beneath silence. And perhaps the greatest mystery is not how someone dies, but how an entire life can vanish, leaving behind only a coded message, a torn page, and questions that refuse to end. As the waves continue washing across Somerton Beach, one final thought remains. How many people carry secrets so profound that even death cannot persuade them to speak, fade to black,